A big hello to you. It's great to see you, and I do hope that you are well. I'm Jenny Kirk, and we're back on the PG Semberoto build. In today's video, we're going to be working on the Swan Lake in the middle. This is a really quite fun kit from Bush that I picked up secondhand. Now, unfortunately, due to the incredible heat that we've been having here, the camera decided that it wouldn't play. But it didn't bother telling us this until after I'd finished doing a lot of the work. So I'm going to talk you through some of the bits that I've been working on. The first thing is that I needed a big hole in the baseboard. It's always a bit of a worry when you get a jigsaw out and start hacking enormous holes, but it actually did go quite well. Trying to make that hole and interference fit for the modified kit. Now, this has its mechanism underneath, and it's always a good idea to keep access to that. So the motor itself sticks out underneath, but I managed to get the hole cut and fettled to shape, and the whole mechanism dropped in. Once happy with that, it's simply a case of gluing the representation of the pool on top. This comes with a plastic ripple layer as well, and it just gives you a really, really nice finish that you can build up the scenery around, knowing that that mechanism is absolutely fine underneath. As we go through today's video, don't forget to hit that like button as a great way of showing your appreciation. Consider sharing to social media. Let's get this build out there, because I think a lot of people really do enjoy seeing what other people are up to with their builds, getting inspiration from what's going on. And as always, I'd love to hear from you in the comments section too. Let me know about your model builds. How is it going? And have you taken any inspiration from what we've been doing so far on PG Semberoto? But let's get on and see. Did it work? Let's face it, it's an untested kit I bought secondhand. We could be doing a lot of work and find it's absolutely dead as a doornail. Come with me and let's see how I did. Today's video comes in association with Train-O-Matic, makers of DCT decoders and accessories that are designed by enthusiasts for enthusiasts. Visit train-o-matic.com and see what they've got suitable for you. Everything's all secured in quite nicely, and it's had overnight to dry. I did some more of plaster bandage, and I didn't film that because, well, you've seen me do that before. I really just wanted to crack on. It really does make a great strong shell, but one of the little disappointments that I've had is when I've actually wired up the motor underneath, nothing's worked, and I don't know whether I'm supplying the wrong voltage. In all honesty, the instructions with these products from Germany aren't the greatest, and it's not so much lost in translation as they're just very sparse on detail. So hopefully I'll be able to get that to work. If not, then I didn't spend a lot on it. I think I would have been disappointed had I paid full price for this brand new, but as it was secondhand, not desperately too bothered.
Zoe here as we edit. It turned out that it was just a voltage issue, so we got the correct voltage, pumped that in from a single gauge master DC controller, and it's perfectly fine.
What I do want to do though is continue with some of the ground cover around here. I've had notification that some sugarcane plants and banana trees, yes, I have managed to track them down. The only supplier out there who will post to the UK, they'll also post to other countries as well, is Ozrail out in Australia. So I'm really looking forward to these products. They looked amazing on their website. And I will show you these when they arrive, because they really will start to make this look like the Javanese countryside that we're trying to model. What I want to do here now is paint this, the brown paint, and I'm going to be putting some palm trees here. I like the idea of just building up some of the trees. I've got 3 packs of palm trees, as unfortunately I don't know, what has Zoe put over there? What have you put over there?
It might be a World War II American serviceman.
Why have you put a World War?
Just to see if it would blend in.
I'm going to use some shaper sheet because part of this is going to become the sugarcane plantation. I want that on both sides of this track, and I think that that's going to look pretty sweet with sugarcane in this area as well. I'm going to have perhaps some banana trees dotted in. I can leave some space for those for when they come, but I just want to get all of this inside of the loop track done and dusted. The Woodland Scenics Shaper Sheet is a really great product for this. Used it time and time again on so many different builds. The most recently, Weir Yard with Jablight's Peak, but I used this extensively too in the rebuilding of Mynydd Tatws Newydd. Sometimes it can be just a little bit unwieldy working with the big roll, but laying that over the top, I'm just going to cut out a piece here. I think that's all I'm going to need at this moment in time. So I'm going to be able to get this in up there. And I'm going to just cut this to shape, fasten it down. For that, I'm going to use a combination of perhaps a little bit hot glue, but also staple gun it as well, and then mix up some plaster, get the plaster soaked on the top, and then I can do all of the ground cover in this area. So I can progress to putting in trees, ballasting the track, and it's going to look amazing. As you saw in the time lapse, once the plaster was reasonably dry, and it does dry quite quickly, I went over with some of the Woodland Scenics Earth Colour. This is really useful just to tone down the white. In fact, I can see I've missed a bit just there, but I will sort that out. And the pond itself, just breaking up the squareness of it, that will get disguised a little bit more with some of the ground cover and just generally starting to fill this space out. This area around here is going to be sugarcane field, as is this side of the tracks, because I want to replicate something that you see quite a lot on the sugarcane railways of Java, where the narrow gauge lines cut down through the middle of field boundaries, so you have some quite tall sugarcane on either side of the tracks, and thought that might be nice to try and replicate. Over there, I'm going to be putting in some palm trees. When the banana trees from Osrail come, I'm going to be putting some of those in there as well. But I'm going to start work on just building up some of the ground cover with some sand, some gravel, and again, more of the ballast bond from Deluxe Materials to just kind of bond all that together. But before I do that, I want to have a little test fit of some of the palm trees. These are really quite beautiful, very, very distinctive, like nothing else that you would see anywhere in the world. So they really are a standout feature. And I'm just trying to get these out of the packaging without causing any damage. Again, they do come with bases, which I'm in two minds about using the bases or not. I'm inclined to actually just drill holes and put them in that way. Now, I bought 3 packs of these palm trees. I've probably bought more of the Woodland Scenics palm trees in the UK than anybody else in the last week. Certainly I cleared Arcadia models out of all the ones that Tim had on his shelves. So for now, they're all on their bases. They tend to be ever so slightly different from each other, even though the actual heights are much the same. And one of the interesting things to see out in Java is they do tend to get mixed in just a little bit with some of the other trees. So I do have some more of these trees. I'm going to go with some of the smaller ones, but then also some of the darker, lower trees would be a really great way to kind of just make things a little bit more mixed up. You see some really dense foliage dotted around in Java, and this hopefully is going to replicate that a little bit. So I'm going to get on, just do a little bit of the ground cover, which also means that I've got a bit of track. One of the things I really wanted to do was the train so kind of going through the copse of trees, really kind of tight in there, and that's hopefully not going to end up with issues with the track. It has been tested, it does notionally work, but I don't have the train to go round this yet because, well, Rapido haven't actually made them yet. So fingers crossed that there's no great issues with those. The ground cover is down. There's still static grass to go around the edges. I'm going to keep that fairly light in this area. Plus, when the sugarcane field goes in, this needs to be more of a kind of bare earth. The cane itself will go in rows, so I'll just leave this as the basic ground cover for now. On the pond area, a lot of this is just the ballast pond getting between the top rippled plastic layer and the coloured layers below. That will dry clear. It'll help adhere everything, so not too worried about that. I am thinking of just putting a little bit of Woodland Scenic's water on top of that if I can't get the mechanism to work. I'm going to turn my attention now to doing some of these trees. So first up, I've got this tree I want to put in over here. So this is going to go down and in. I've tried to put a little bit of a hole into the wooden baseboard just to try and really just get this to stick a little better in there. And it's like creating a sinkhole out of PVA, isn't it? So I'm going to put a little bit more of the forest ground cover around that as well. Just a little bit on there. So very, very carefully going to just load that down and in. I felt it just kind of almost click into the slight hole I put in the baseboard. I'm putting a little bit of that underneath. And that, for me, is getting there. I'm leaving just a little bit of a bigger gap through here. The reason for that is I do want to be able to get in and clean the track without too much drama. So with that in, I've got one more of these trees. Again, put a little bit of a dimple into the baseboard at the bottom. Hopefully the little nubbin in the bottom of the tree will kind of just clip into that, which is what I want. Plenty of PVA and a little bit more forest ground cover. Now that doesn't feel like it's gone quite into the hole in the baseboard, not an issue. Oh wow, that's amazing, isn't it? So all the gunk sticks quite freely to me, but not to the tree in the baseboard. That is lovely. And that's just the way I'm going to continue. I'm going to start putting some of the other trees in around here. I want them quite nice and dense with the palm trees, and I think it'll look really good. This scene is really coming together. Just going to make a quick application of some of these bushes that I found at a show. Pink bushes. I'm going to see what I can do with these. They looked really quite interesting in their boxes. So let's have a little bit on there. And I'm just going to work around here as well. I do have plans for some of these bushes elsewhere. But all in all, these do look quite interesting. And then a final sprinkle of the magic ingredients just to feather these edges. I'm going through a lot of ballast bond, it must be said. And I also want to put some deadwood in. I do like this product, it must be said. That looks like we might be done. As always, do please like, share and subscribe. You can also find me over on Patreon if you want to help support the channel to keep making these fabulous builds. So far, we've really got a lot of progress here in the centre. I'm ready for the sugarcane. I'm really looking forward to it arriving from Osrail. And overall, this scene is becoming quite interesting indeed. The palm trees and those bushes really help to set the scene as being somewhere that's not the UK. Bit of an understatement. And I do like the ripples on that pond. I might even have a boater on there too. From all the different angles, you can see that we've got this effect that I really wanted from the start, with tracks just going through the trees, just skirting around the edge of things, very, very overgrown, and it really does seem to have worked out well. The river base just round here that I put in on the beginning of the video has dried nicely. The abandoned ram track does look good. And the daring child just going across the log there, a survivor from Four Seasons, which is in the room, but looking very much worse for wear. Until next time though, you take great care of yourself. Happy modelling and bye for now. Today's video comes in association with Train-O-Matic, makers of DCT decoders and accessories that are designed by enthusiasts for enthusiasts. Visit train-o-matic.com and see what they've got suitable for you. I'd like to thank everybody over on Patreon, and an extra special huge thanks goes out to our Patreon heroes. Without you guys over on Patreon, we really wouldn't be able to keep making the video content that you see on this channel. And don't forget that you can also head on over to patreon.com/Jennifer Kirk and check out the different tiers of rewards. Thank you so much. You are absolute legends.